So, here's the scene. South Korea's brand new president, Jae-myung, flies into Washington. Trump has just warned on Truth Social about a purge or revolution in Korea. The mood? Awkward. But then, Lee opens his mouth, and suddenly, he's the world's most enthusiastic interior decorator. Mr. President, the Oval Office is beautiful. Your leadership is inspiring. Please, build a Trump Tower in North Korea. And just like that, the storm melts into sunshine. The sit-down runs longer than planned, well beyond schedule. We're with you 100%, Trump says. He beams, and the tariffs shrink. Welcome to Past Cast, where politics meets history with a twist of satire. If you enjoy our take, hit like and subscribe so you never miss the next story. Before the Oval Office fan club audition, Lee was no stranger to drama. He grew up poor, worked in a factory as a child, injured his arm permanently, became a human rights lawyer, then mayor of Seongnam, governor of Gyeonggi Province, and nearly president in 2022. Fast forward to 2024. Yoon Suk-yeol implodes under martial law, and Lee wins the snap election. From factory floor to the Blue House, Yongsan presidential office, this guy's life is basically a K-drama written by Karl Marx. Right after being sworn in, Lee visits Japan, Seoul's frenemy. Centuries of rivalry, colonization scars, trade wars. But Lee made Tokyo his first stop. Why? To signal he's not Yoon 2.0, but also not China's lapdog. Think of it as buying insurance. Hug Japan today, so you don't need America's awkward bear hug tomorrow. But Lee didn't forget Beijing. Before boarding the plane to see Trump, he sent Xi Jinping a personal love letter. It said all the polite things: strategic cooperative partnership, better lives for our citizens, and a golden invitation to attend APEC in Korea. Basically, Dear Xi, don't get mad, I'm just meeting Trump for coffee. You're still my number one. On weekdays. In Washington, Lee delivers the jackpot. South Korea pledges $350 billion in U.S. investments. Hyundai drops $26 billion for factories and robots. Korean Air buys 103 Boeing planes, worth more than the GDP of some countries. Samsung and LG promise chips, batteries, and green tech. Even Korea Gas signs up to guzzle US LNG. Why? Because Trump slashed tariffs from 25% to 15%. So yes, Trump yells, "Pay up," and Korea responds, "How about a few $100 billion, boss?" Then Trump does the unthinkable. He brings up comfort women in the Oval Office. Nothing kills a good business meeting faster than centuries-old war crimes. But Trump thought he was making a historical point. Lee, caught off guard, probably wished he'd stuck to complimenting the curtains. And let's not forget America's 28,000 troops parked in South Korea. Who owns the land? Technically, Korea. Under the SOFA agreement, the U.S. just borrows it. But Trump once hinted, "Why don't we own it?" Imagine telling your landlord, "By the way, I've decided I own your house now. Here's my tank in the driveway." So, will Korea fight if Taiwan blows up? Short answer, nope. The U.S.-Korea Defense Treaty covers attacks on Korea, not Taiwan. Lee isn't about to sign up Seoul for a war with China, while Samsung sells half its chips there. Instead, Korea nods politely in trilateral meetings with Japan and the U.S., talks about regional stability, and hopes nobody asks for actual troops. So why did Lee flatter Trump like he was auditioning for The Apprentice Seoul edition? Because it worked. Trump cares about loyalty, applause, and the Dow Jones. Lee gave him all three. In return, Korea got tariff relief, billions in U.S. investments, and a White House handshake. Sometimes, international diplomacy is less about geopolitics and more about stroking egos. Here's the real story. Lee wants to be everyone's friend. With Trump, he's the loyal ally writing billion-dollar checks. With Xi, he's the respectful neighbor writing polite letters. With Japan, he's the reconciler showing up first. It's less Korea chooses sides and more Korea speed dates everyone. So, will Lee lean deeper into the US orbit? Probably yes, because tariffs, jobs, and security matter more than ideology. But will he dump China? Absolutely not. Too much trade, too many chips, too much geography. In the end, Lee Jae-myung's foreign policy looks a lot like his personal story. Pragmatic, scrappy, and willing to flatter the boss if it gets results. So let's recap. Lee praises Trump's furniture. Tariffs drop. Lee writes Xi a love letter. Relations calm. Lee visits Japan. History pretends to heal. Lee avoids Taiwan. Korea survives. If this is diplomacy, maybe the secret to world peace really is interior design, polite letters, and very expensive Boeing planes. Thank you for watching Pastcast, where the past echoes through today. If you enjoyed the satire, scrolls, and scandals, like, subscribe, and ring the bell before the next empire falls.